In the next few videos, I hope to do justice to the immense and breathtaking landscapes of northern Kenya. Join me as we watch the sun-bathed and towering rock walls of Ngurunit, stand below the imposing views of Mount Ololokwe, cross hundreds of rivers and swim in the crocodile-infested waters of Lake Turkana, climb the sand dunes of North Horr, shelter in the oasis of Chalbi Desert, and the striking and contrasting tropical forests of Marsabit. We set off from Nairobi on an early morning, and within a few hours we were snaking down the slopes of Merille and the flat plains of Laikipia County. Our first stopover was at Nanyuki, where we had breakfast and embarked on an all-day drive into the far reaches of Kenya. The farms of Timau are always a joy to look at, and we couldn't help being wowed by Mount Kenya in the backdrop. A stop at Archer's Post was a given. The views of the mighty Owasso River, the biggest one in the north, is a must-see. Sand harvesting is done here every day, and the river has lost much of its waters to the farms upstream, but it's very much a source of livelihood here as it is high up in its source in the Aberdare ranges. It's hard to get prepared for what awaits you a few kilometers away, but the hazy outlines of the towering cliffs of Ololokwe and cat and mouse rocks begin to shape up into giants in the plains that simply make you feel small.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe. soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
We proceeded to have our lunch at Laisamis Catholic Guest House. The food was exceptionally good, and incredible effort seems to have gone into making this compound quite a view despite the scorching heat that is experienced here. After driving through monotones of the now turned green semi-desert, we branched towards Ngurunit into an endless drive in a Maram road. We crossed the Suswa Ethiopia 500 kilovolts power line, and this would be the last time we would be seeing the tarmac for the next week. We enjoyed spotting gazelles, lava flows, and the beautiful scents of the blooming desert flowers. Losai National Reserve sits next to Namunyak Conservancy, and much like it, has towering and imposing mountains. This area was once a large lake or ocean long before the dinosaurs roamed the planet, and volcanicity took place after the lake dried up, shaping it into what we see today. It is considered one of the oldest places on the planet. We spot herders and cameras along the way in a small town after a few hundred kilometers. The views here always seek to impress, and they're even more enticing on the next turn. Bridges are often swept away by the ragas and their unpredictable flash floods.
These rivers are crazy. Like the bridge you're moving. It's solid.
Soon enough, it was time to get to the captivating town of Ngurunit beneath Ndotto Mountains. These are magnetizing mountains that will forever remain in my mind. The peaceful, welcoming and lively people of Ngurunit town make this place a must return to. So after leaving Nairobi at 4 a.m, finally at around 5 p.m, we're at Ngurunit, which is around 550 kilometers away. Being a very long drive here, but again I think the views are really worth it. You see there's a campsite, and get this, we have a river right next here. This is one of those things you don't see very often. There's a river right here, and this Ngurunit, so people think that this place is very dry. This is called Ndotto campsite, and it's quite a beautiful tent. So let me give you a walkthrough. First things first, you have a work desk if you're here to work. And here are two beautiful beds. Great choice, right? You have your humidifier, and let me show you the bathroom. You've got your toilet there, you've got a beautiful, beautiful concrete sink, and you have your shower. It's really a beautiful tent. I can't say nothing more. Look at that. This is Camp Ndotto, and it's surrounded by very, very beautiful rock faces on all sides. And get this, we've got palm trees here. I think the place would be called an oasis. Look at that, look at that. That's a palm tree right there, and it's big. It's been here for years. Nice. Nani, how far kutoka hapa? So I am more than hopeful. We have the capacity. After rest, we proceeded to the Losides, where we'd have an adrenaline-filled evening sliding down these giant rocks.
I can see it in your eyes. You've seen the moon and its darker side. I can feel the gravity, the forces pull between you and me. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you.
I learned that the people here own camels as well, but they had them far from here in the hotter areas, which is more ideal for camels. Each homestead has piped water from the many rivers flowing down these hills. They seem to have it good compared to neighboring villages.
I will be standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars.
Let's compare me versus the guy she tells you not to worry about.
It gets a little lighter over time. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you, but I won't rush this love. I can wait even if it's hard to take. One moment is enough. I will be standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars are born.
Before breakfast, I fed the baboons, which would later join us for breakfast and snatch a few pancakes to get their day started.
Changing in the sky, it gets a little lighter over time. Yes, it's true, I'm falling hard for you, but I won't rush this love. I can wait even if it's hard to take.
We left the place that made a lasting mark on our memories towards South Horr and deeper towards the largest desert lake in the world, Lake Turkana.
I will be standing here